Great afternoon, great evening, happy Sunday, beautiful people. I always feel like I haven't seen y'all in for so long. How are you feeling? Drop it in the chat right now. Give me one word to describe how you are feeling on this Sunday evening at this very moment. Again, great evening, happy Sunday. We hope that you found some time this weekend to fully unplug so that you can refill and refuel yourself so that you can walk into tomorrow rocking and rolling. People used to ask me all the time, how are you today? I am rocking and rolling. I'm well and I'm rocking and rolling. And so we hope that you've done something this weekend that positions you to walk in purpose this week. But drop in the chat for me. How are y'all doing? How are you feeling? What's your one word? How are you feeling tonight? You guys know we are always here for a good time, not a long time. And tonight the topic is one that I don't know a single leader, a single person of impact that they've not had to deal with this at one point or another, or even continuously. Okay, let me say that again, one point or another, or continuously. You know, some things are like cycles. They go away, then they come back. They go away. And so sometimes this topic tonight is just that way. And we're talking about you are everybody's solution. Let me say this again. You, my friend, you are the go-to, the first person, the last person, the middle person. Like, you're the strategic thinker, you're the doer, you're the giver. You are everybody's solution, right? But you need some help. Not only do you need some help, you really don't want to ask for it. That is what we are talking about tonight. And so we are so super duper excited to have each and every one of you guys here. Listen, before we get started, what's in your cup tonight? It's one of my favorite books, y'all. People send me the cutest and sweetest cups, mugs. Y'all know I love stuff because I'm always drinking. I'm drinking tea tonight. What are you drinking? I have a ginger and turmeric tea in my cup tonight. That is what I am sipping on. What is in your cup and what was a win for you from last week? It's so very important that we train our brains to find the good. Finding the good helps to fuel you forward. Let me say that again. Finding the fuel, finding the good in everything, finding those small wins, the big wins, you know what? I responded better to that situation this week than I did before. Or you know what? I chose not to eat 3 donuts. I just ate 2, right? Whatever that thing is for you, what's your win for this week? Make sure that you're finding those, that you're saying them out loud, right? Research has shown us that it is so critically important that the things that we're working on, habits, you need to say it out loud, right? So say what it is out loud that you're celebrating from last week, because it truly will give you the fuel that you need to move forward. Do me a favor right now, hit like, hit share. We got to fight the algorithm, y'all. The algorithm has not been my friend lately, right? I don't think I post controversial information. So, you know, hey, I'm low on the totem pole. But make sure that you have hit like and you are sharing this video for this very critical topic tonight. You guys know Boss Moves. We are here to figure out how do we walk into this week making bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial moves. That's what we're talking about tonight. But again, the topic is of the night, you're everybody's solution, but you need some help. And so you guys know when I go solo, I go straight into the strategies. So what's a good strategy for me to start trying to figure out? I know I'm the leader. I know I'm the CEO. I know I'm the principal. I'm the manager. I'm the team lead. I'm the dad. Everybody is looking for me to know everything at all times. And if I can be honest, we have made asking for help a weakness, when in all actuality, it takes a lot of courage to open up your mouth and ask someone else to help do something that needs to be done in your personal or your professional world, right? And so tonight we're talking about what are some strategies to help you, because you guys also told me last week, and I polled you on this or that Thursday, what do you struggle with most? And y'all drop this in the chat too, because let me check this. Let me get a temperature gauge. Y'all know I'm a data girl, right? I love to get some feedback and some data. So the question Thursday was, which do you struggle with more? What do you find more difficult? Do you find it more difficult to say no? Or do you find it more difficult to say, you know what, I need help? Drop it in the chat right now for me. I find it more difficult, right? Harder to say no, or I find it harder to say or ask for help, to ask for assistance. Drop that in the chat for me right now. And again, thank you guys for joining. I see you. I see all of you. I am so happy to have each and every one of you join us tonight. I see you. She said, I'm feeling amazing. And that is a beautiful way to end the weekend and drop into the Monday, right? But drop it in the chat for me. What do you struggle with most, saying no or asking for help, right? Well, I'll share with you that the people that answered this week said, you know what? It's harder for me to ask for help. It's hard for me. Let me tell y'all how real this thing is. People were DMing me the response. I had some people email me the response. That's how tough this culture has become for us to just say, I need help without feeling like you're judged, without feeling like you are condemned. And so tonight I am here to tell you that you are a strong one when you are putting yourself in position to ask for help. So let's jump right on in these strategies, right? So as you're leaning and learning to offer your assistance to others, I need you to keep that hand open so that others also can offer their assistance to you, right? The first thing I want you to think through is normalizing asking for help as a strength. We've got to shift our perspective, y'all. We've got to shift our perspective from being it's weak of me to ask for help. This is another one for ladies, especially. I'm going to seem like I don't know enough or I'm unprepared if I ask for help. But research has shown us, coming out of business world and psychology, right? Coming out of Harvard School of Psychology, Harvard Business as well, has shown us that in all actuality, your teammates, you build trust, right? People trust you more when you ask for help. Think about that. Let me say it again. Asking for help, let me read it verbatim. Research has shown that asking for help signals trust. It gives people this turn on, you know what, I can trust her because she's not trying to pretend like she's got it all figured out, right? So asking for help can have the opposite effect that's stopping us from asking the help in the first place, right? So again, asking for help can boost trust amongst your organization and competency. What do we mean by that? How is it that asking for help can boost competency? I'll never forget one of my first times, teaching a group of very young educators, they were fresh in year 1, year 2, year 3. And I was telling them, like, you need to, it's one thing for the instructional leader, the principal, right? To know how to crunch data, to know how to calculate, are we meeting AYP, or to calculate if a student made growth, or to calculate what's the percentage proficiency or how many points. It's one thing for the instructional leader to be able to do that, but it's a totally different thing to be in a classroom and be able to calculate it. Like, I'm going to switch out my data to you before you come to me with it, right? The more you understand it, the more you know the impact. I can adjust my instruction faster, right? If I'm not having to wait for somebody to analyze my data and give it back, it's powerful, powerful. I would never forget, those young teachers didn't know that I knew they were whining and complaining. Oh, they whine, they complain, this is too much, why do I have to do this? Yada, yada, like on and on and on. Can I tell you, and I'm going to see if I can dig back, because it wasn't too long ago that I got a text message from one of those same young ladies, right? I wasn't mad at her then because I saw her potential. So I just let her press through the little pain points that she was having, right? Because I knew that she had so much leadership in her. But she was whining and complaining, like, why are we having to learn? Why is she teaching us this? And why is she requiring us to come with this stuff done after she's taught us, right? Let me tell you what she does for her district now. She's the district data guru. Y'all, she texts me often. I hear from her often, and she was like, yeah, I got to go to this school to train that. I said, you got to do what, honey? What are you doing? So again, asking for help. And in the situation, sometimes I would present it as, and I would need help. Y'all, we got to crunch this data. I got 6th grade done. Y'all jump in here. Come on, do 7th grade for me. I did need help. But even more than that, I saw the opportunity to build competency in somebody else. So even as a leader, thinking through that, who is it that you could ask for help that inadvertently will also open up a door for them building their muscles? Because again, are you really leading if nobody else can take your place after you're gone? We don't like to talk about this, but this is real stuff, right? So asking for help should not be considered weakness. It's wisdom. Y'all drop that in the chat, right? Asking for help is not weakness. It's actually wisdom, right? And the older you get, the more you know. Listen, that last S in substantial, right? We all are doing our dash. I'm no longer at that school, in that school system, but guess what? the work that was done there, the lessons that was taught there is living on in somebody else. And guess what? She's paying it forward. So again, asking for help, drop it in the chat. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom, especially if you are a legacy leader. And I know we're again all working on that as we're trying to leave this place, every school, every organization, the earth better than we found it. And so we've got to let people know that we trust them enough to help us and vice versa, right? It builds trust and builds competency there. Power isn't doing it all alone. It's about knowing when to pass the mic. And so I want you right now. Matter of fact, I need you to envision who is somebody this week that you can pass the mic to. Somebody asking for help. Drop it in the chat. Who this week? There is somebody right now in your mind. Who is somebody, you know what? I need to continue building capacity. I see so much potential. I see that they could be a leader. I see that they could be a teacher of the year. I see that they could be the parent of the year. The whatever it is in your organization. Pass the mic. Pass the mic, right? So again, that's strategy one. Normalizing asking for help is strength, because what it does is it strengthens your leadership capacity. It also does the same for somebody else. So again, I want you, I'm not saying you got to call their name out, but I want you to drop their initials in the chat. Who are you? I need you to drop the mic and the initials in the chat. Go ahead, because again, I need you to walk away tonight with something practical that you're actually going to do. And y'all know anytime I am teaching, anytime I'm speaking, I'm sorry, y'all, this is my heater. Y'all know I stay cold. I got hot. Let me turn it off. But anytime I'm speaking, anytime I'm doing professional development, anytime I'm coaching, I want you to have actionable, immediate steps that you can use. So right now, listen, you got your first one. Who is the person that you're going to pull close to you this week? You're passing the mic. You're building capacity. You're going to ask them to help you. And you're training them at the same time. And that's the other piece. We're doing this simultaneously. So tip number one, asking for help it's normalizing asking for help as a strength, not a weakness. It's actually wisdom, right? It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Here we go. Tip two. Oh my goodness, y'all. Y'all know I get on my soapbox. And I almost feel like sometimes I need to pass the collection plate. Drop that in the chat. I'm not going to even read it out loud. Drop it in the chat for me first. Tip two, drop it in the chat. Break the superhero complex. Let me say it again, and I'm going to say it slow. Break the superhero complex. So many studies on burnout and leadership has proven that so much of our burnout is coming from this over responsibility that you are putting on yourself. Let me say it again. Over responsibility for you to do everything, for you to save everybody, to save every situation. And y'all, we've got to break that habit. That habit is killing us. Thinking that and especially, I'm going to lean in a little bit, especially for a lot of us in our personal worlds, right? We really, really feel like it is our job to save everybody and everything. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. As an impact leader, for somebody who is in education, absolutely, my goal is to save as many, and my goal is to save everybody. But that's different than a superhero complex where you feel like it's got to be you. Sometimes it's you passing the torch to somebody else. Sometimes it's about you giving them the strategy. Sometimes it's about accountability, because accountability is love, right? We've got to shift this whole superhero complex. We're taught even. If you're a good leader, you got to do it all, and you got to do it all on your own. You got to hold all the burdens on your own back, y'all. But we've got to break that. Matter of fact, I remember one morning, I was on social media scrolling through Instagram, and this voice came on. It started immediately singing, y'all. These were the words. It said, I want to save you. Oh, but I'm not God. I want to heal you with my bare hands, but that's not my job. I want to pick you up off the ground and lift you higher. I want to save you, but I'm not God. And so y'all know you always going to hear some thoughts, some concepts on spirituality, on faith. I cannot separate the two. So many times, y'all, we replaced ourselves for a higher being when it comes to dealing with people. And so we've got to figure out how to stop doing that. Remember, carrying everything may make you look strong, but in the end, you end up being stuck. Let me say that again. Thinking that you've got to be the one to save everything, save every situation initially can make it look like, you know what, that's strong stuff, but you end up being stuck and or sick. So again, breaking that superhero complex. It doesn't have to be you. Who doesn't have to be you? You guys have heard me say that. Drop that in the chat. Who does not have to be you? Remember, you first got to pour from that. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So continue to give yourself that oxygen so that you're in a position to support others in a way that's very, very impactful for them. We've got to keep that in mind. Got to keep that in mind. All right, so that's tip 2. Here we go. Tip 3. Tip 3, make micro ask instead of massive ones. Think this way for me, and you're gonna understand it very quickly. You know, let's say I left my wallet at home one day. I left my wallet at home one day, and you know, my morning thing is a cup of coffee from Waffle House. Well, that cup of coffee is $2.14, right? I have a coworker who I know she keeps change on her desk. She's matter of fact, she throws it all over the office, no big deal, right? A micro ask. If I'm somebody who is not accustomed to asking for help, an initial micro ask, maybe, girl, can I borrow $2.14 to go get my coffee for the morning? I'll give it right back to you as soon as I get back in. That's a micro ask. Versus, girl, can you pay my mortgage for the month and I'll give it back next month? Two different things, right? And so as you are building capacity and you're building trust with people in your personal and your professional world to be able to ask for help, start small. Start small, start small. My mom used to tell me this story, and she often tells me of her grandmother, right? She said her grandmother always said that her husband always gave her whatever she wanted. She never wanted for anything that he would not provide. And she said she was young, but she could see, you know, how were they doing that? Because, you know, he doesn't have a big fancy job. She couldn't figure out how could the grandmother be saying that he always gave her everything that she wanted. She says, finally, she asked her one day, and she said, it's because I never asked him to give me something that I know he was not capable of providing for me, right? And so as it relates to asking, if you're not accustomed, you got to start small, because you got to ask for things that, you know what, it's going to help build that trust up for you and for them to ask for those bigger things, right? And in your office, and be specific. So instead of saying, you know what, y'all, we need help in the office today. We need help. I need help in the office today. Maybe it's, you know what, teacher Smith, can you look over this math review for me before we pull it out in PLC? Being very specific, being very small with your initial acts as you're building capacity is very, very important. Remember, your next level doesn't need to be more hustle. It needs to be more help. Y'all drop that in the chat. It's not about more hustle. You're not going to level up hustling more, y'all. We are killing ourselves. It's time to ask for help. Again, micro ask instead of those major ones. Remember, help is not a crunch. It's a catalyst. It's a catalyst for your next level. So keeping that in mind, folks, as you are jumping into this year. Next up, what's the next tip, right? Understanding the return on investment of asking for help. Let me say this one again. Drop it in the chat. What's the return on investment? I don't know about you, but you know, things are tight in this economy. So I need to make sure that I am spending my time, energy, and effort, my resources, my treasure on things that's going to give me a great return on investment. And so when you're talking about help, what is that return on investment? Gallup data, right? They do a lot of data in business data. They found that teams with collaborative leaders have 21% higher productivity. And catch this for those of my business owners, and 23% greater profitability, right? So if you're working with a team, write 21% higher productivity in the chat for me. If you're working in business world, right, and you the CEO, you're the owner, I'm looking at bottom line, write 23% greater profitability. So again, the more that we learn to build these collaborative teams, right? And collaborative means that I don't have to be the one that knows it all. I don't have to be the one that's going to do it all, right? As a matter of fact, in the church we say, I need you, you need me, right? We're all a part, right, of this big family, and we need each other to survive. And so we've got to take that thought process into every aspect of what we're doing, y'all. Social, emotionally, right? People are struggling. We human beings are struggling right now with everything that's happening in the world. And so, even thinking from a standpoint of therapy, y'all, a lot we need to ask for help, right? Because the return on investment is always more than you could ever ask or think. And so, remember, help is going to be the bridge from where you are to where it is that you need to go for your next level of impact and income, right? Sometimes we just think, oh, income. No, impact too. Impact is more important than income. That income is going to come with your impact, right? So always keeping that in mind. I want you to imagine and remember that you are the solution. And I don't want to negate that. You are it. Tag, you are it, right? And you've got to know that leadership is a gift. Being the person that is viewed and respected and loved and appreciated and valued as the one that can get stuff done is a beautiful thing. But I don't want you to burn yourself out by thinking that, again, you have to do it all alone. So, yes, you're the solution, but the solution needs a system. Drop it in the chat. The solution needs a system. You're the solution, but you've got to have a system. And a system tonight means people. People to help you get the work done, people to help you see a different perspective, right? People to help you realize, you know what, there might be just an easier way for all of us to get this thing done, right? So imagine what could happen if you stopped trying to carry it all and you started calling it in, right? Being specific about what you're asking from your people. Again, then here we go. The last one. Whew, this is very important because what happens is when we don't ask early, and we don't ask clearly, and we don't act strategically, the house is burning down. You see it burning, and then you got to find somebody to use them, like to even call the fire department. Right? You saw the matches, you saw the things, you saw all of these flammable, you saw it, you didn't say anything. Now the roof is on fire. We don't want it to burn down. We don't, but you you waited too late. Like it's crumbling. So I want to challenge you as a leader, right? And not just as a mama, as a father, as a whatever it is, as a musician, right? As a coach, as a whatever your title and your role is, to stop waiting till things are so crazy and so out of order to ask for help, right? To be very proactive, right? There was an old saying that we often hear, and it's in the book, Boss Moves. Again, if you don't have Boss Moves, I don't know what y'all are waiting for. This book is amazing. It's still rolling. Make sure you've got your copy. And for those of you that are in schools, it's a game changer for like I have janitors who's reading the books. Like everybody in this system, your bus drivers, they need the book as well, right? But this concept of if we can predict something, we can stop it from happening. That's not always the case. I can look at the weather forecast and it can say, girl, it's going to be a thunderstorm today. All right. 90% chance of heavy rain and lightning. I see that. We predicted it, but there is nothing within my power that can stop that from happening. But I can make sure that I got my rain boots because I know I'm going to be caught on Colorado around. I can make sure, right, that I got my extra makeup because it's going to sweat out. I can prepare myself, right? So remember to drop this in the chat. If something is predictable, I can plan for it. And that's one of the chapters in the book. I can plan for it. And so as we're talking about asking for help, there are some things that you already know is going to happen. You know, homecoming week is next week, and the seniors always try to put tissue paper in the back of the school. Like, you know this. What are you doing to plan for it? You know that report cards go out next week, and I know I am going to have 20 people in the front office, 5:30, 4:30 hot because their babies got F's. You already know that. So how are you positioning your front office step? Asking early, asking clearly, and asking strategically for specific help, right? It's going to set you and your team up for success. Hear me and hear me well. We've got to stop killing ourselves, y'all. We are killing ourselves prematurely through stress. Again, y'all hear me say it all the time. I know more educators and more leaders, especially women, on anxiety meds, on heart, blood pressure, heart monitors. Even y'all, I know folks rocking right now around in schools now with heart monitors on, and it's stress, it's anxiety induced. We've got to make sure that we are positioning ourselves to be as of much impact as we can, and that cannot happen, my friends, if you are ill or worse off, you in the hospital, right, with a heart attack because you did not ask for help. And you might say, girl, that is extreme. It's really not. I see it every day. I see it every day. And so I'm not too proud to beg of you as you walk into this week. What's one thing that you need help with this week? Right now, identify that thing. What's something that's happening this week that you know what? I know I've been doing it on my own, but realistically, I need some help. Name that thing. And there is somebody. And sometimes we say, oh, I don't have anybody. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You just got to be willing to ask, folks. And so I am saying to you, just ask. You guys know I'm a teacher and we're here for a good time, not a long time. So those were those 5 tips. Again, normalizing asking for help as a strength. Y'all, we've got to shift our perspective. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. I'm trying to build capacity. I'm trying to build a team, right? We're trying to leave legacy. And so we need other people to be able to do that. That was tip 1 of thought 1. Tip 2, thought 2, breaking the superhero complex. I want you to go pray and meditate on that one, right? And matter of fact, that song put me in tears that day. I just remember, like, you're dealing with so many things, and I heard that, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to handle this. This thing is bigger than me. I need to yield it to a power that is higher than me. I'm not it. I can handle it, right? I need to yield to that. And so stop trying to be the savior, right? And give people the tools and tips they need to show up for themselves, right? All right, tip 3, make micro ask instead of massive wins. Remember that example? Buy me a Coke, not pay for my car note. Right? Start with micro ask as you're building trust for yourself, right? Because for a lot of us, like, I'm used to doing things a certain way. And even now, like, I have a particular way that I want things to look, that I want to get over yourself. Start asking for help, right? Understanding the return on investment. Remember those 2 numbers: 21% higher productivity in teams and 23% higher profitability in companies, right? Where there is a collaborative spirit, where, like, nobody's having to be the savior. It's not all on one person. We are better together. We're doing this thing as one. And then the last thing is ask early. Don't let the house start burning down before you start trying to wave a fan. It's on fire. You need more than a fan to put that out, right? So asking early, asking clearly, and asking strategically. Drop it in the chat for me. What's your one takeaway from tonight, my friends? My boss friends, listen, we've got a lot of work to do. And y'all see me smile or not, I'm so positive, I'm so optimistic, but I'm so a realist. This world needs us. Those of us that have a true light and a true genuine concern for other human beings, y'all, we've got to stay charged up so we are shining a bright light. Like you need to give yourself permission to go full on. Right, a lot of us dim down. On the flashlights, you got like the low mode, the medium mode, and then the high beam. Baby, go high beam. Drop it in the chat. I need you to go high beam. And the only way that you can go high beam is that you are taking really, really, really good care of yourself. And so much of that has to be you being willing to ask for help, building capacity around your team. Those things are critically important. Again, don't wait till you're burning out to make those things happen. Remember, we're building a village. It's not just one person. You are not just a solution, but we're building a village. Come on with it. Let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, stuck or sick, one of the two. Neither one of those things are good for your evolution. We all need to be evolving to our next higher best being, right? And so that is absolutely important. Yes, solution needs a system. Absolutely. Not necessarily, right? It does not. Call me. We need to talk. I miss you. No, it does not. There are so many pathways to you being successful, my friend, my baby. call me. Let's talk about some of those pathways for you. Remember, it's always a great day to be you. Remember, we are open. Matter of fact, we've already started taking bookings for 2026 keynotes already. Y'all know January is a hot time. May is a hot time. So if you're looking for keynotes, go ahead and make sure you get those in. We are doing professional development coaching every week. So make sure if your organization is ready to get some consulting, some support, some coach around cultivating a positive, strong, collaborative culture in schools. We know that that drives student achievement, right? People got to want to come to work for the work to happen. And that's the same for corporations. And then leadership development. So again, keynotes, coaching, professional development. If you need any of those things, remember to reach out. Simply send us an email at contact@bosseducator.com. We are always one call away. Remember, I'm just so glad that you guys joined us tonight. You said your takeaway is having a legacy mindset. Absolutely, right? Asking for help is a part of that. I promise you it is. Micro acts. Yeah, start small. Don't ask people to do something big, especially if everybody knows like she don't never ask for help. Like start small so that you're building that trust for yourself and for them to open the door for that. Remember, y'all, it's always a great day to be you. Never ever forget that there is somebody that will not become the best version of themselves unless you show up the best version of yourself. Y'all drop it in the chat for me. I'm making boss moves this week. If nobody has told you lately, I love you, I mean that. I believe in you guys. I believe in the boss tribe, and you are in the tribe if you're on here, right? I believe in the work that all of us are doing to do our dash to make this world a better place in whatever capacity that we can. And the first part of that is you taking care of yourself, loving yourself, right? And remember, you can be the solution, but my friends, you still need some help. Y'all go be wise, be wise.